So, welcome to my new series that I'm replacing my life vlog with, and that is my new video series where I talk about hormones every week. I talk about those disgusting things that destroy your body. We're gonna teach you about the birds and the beats, birds and the hormones, kids. I don't fucking know. So, if you watched my previous video, I made a video talking about my experience starting male to female hormones. Now that I've officially been like 7 days into taking it, I'm going to share with you what I've experienced because I do think there's a lot of fear and propaganda and frustration and not understanding of these things. Also, I don't want you to take my words as gospel when it comes to this subject because I've watched other people I've listened to other people go through these pills and these medications that I'm going through, and they will tell you different stories. So I want that to be out there. Like, I really want that to be out there. Hey, I'm not the gospel in this subject. I am just a person who's sharing my experience. And hopefully that will help you do, maybe if you're thinking about this yourself or you have a family member who's going through this, maybe you can learn to understand like what they're going through, or maybe you can like be less fearful yourself, because I will tell you one of the hard things about from my experience is I can't be close to family about this stuff. I just have to go through it, a lot of it on my own, and it's a very lonely experience, and I don't want other people to suffer that way, but unfortunately a lot of us in this community, we do have to suffer this way because of the way our lives work out. But it is not fair and it sucks, but hopefully I can help in ways I would like to. I will say this is just off the first week. I will say it's been a very successful week for me. Let me start with like my biggest fear going into this. I don't think I mentioned in the last video. There was a video I watched of this lady who, I forget she's a trans YouTuber, and she was talking about her experience, and she was talking about how her hormones got all out of whack, that she literally got so frustrated that she cussed out her boss. And it made me go, that story stuck in my brain and made me go, oh my god, am I gonna be an emotional fucking mess? Like, am I gonna cuss out my boss? Is this what's gonna happen? And it's like, no. That's not what happens. I mean, it is what happens where your mood shifts, and sometimes, depending on your level of testosterone and other things, you are going to see a stronger shift. For me, I experienced these meds as making me calmer. Like, I'm a person who's very prone to anxiety and being stressed out. When I started taking these meds, I was in a better mood instantly. In fact, it was so good that it started throwing me off, where I was like, why am I not as stressed out as I normally am? It's a very weird circle of things where I'm not stressed out and I'm liking that, but also, why am I not stressed out? There's a show I really love called Damn Versus, and he has a quote, and he's like, they're like, have you ever relaxed? And he's like, once. It made me very stressed. It's just like, that's the way I felt. So it's gonna vary for you. I'm not gonna say my story is like one to one, but I also was doing research, and apparently I'm not the only one who noticed the meds making me feel calmer. A lot of people experience this. In fact, even my doctor said, we're going to start you off at a low dose. And I said, hey, that's good, because you know what? I suffer from mild depression and anxiety. And that is something that, I deal with. So I'm glad I'm starting off at low dose. I don't want to see the shifts, mood swings become really bad. And he's like, that's true, but also just note that a lot of people experience good mood shifts, and that's what I'm noticing. And so I just want to share that. So it seems more common than not that good mood shifts are, but it is going to vary with person. Keep in mind though, I've only been on it a week, so maybe next week I'll be an angry fucking mess yelling at you in the video, being like, what the fuck, man? No. So the other thing I noticed, which they told me was going to be a thing, is like, I'm gonna be real. Some of this is gonna be TMI, but I feel like it's important to share. So I understand if you're a little grossed out, skip it a little bit. But I have to pee a lot more, and it's really bad because like even at bedtime, I'm getting up like 10 times to go to the bathroom, or if I'm like taking a nap, I'm like I can't take a nap because I have to just keep getting up to go to the bathroom. And the one thing too is like every doctor I've talked to, because I've talked to my primary care doctor about this, I've talked to my hormone doctor. They're like, lessen the soda, lessen the tea intake, like things like that. Like, focus mostly on water, which is good. Don't get mad, that's great advice, and I've been trying to do that. But when you need to pee more because of what the meds are doing to you, and then you're only drinking water, which goes right through you, it is not a fun combination, let me tell you. It's fucking crazy. So I'm like literally like a tank, just constantly. It's really funny. And I love it. I love the meds making me need to pee all the time. No, I do not. But yeah, I've just noticed the calmer moods switches. I've noticed like where my testosterone in situations where people make me frustrated, I would feel like the need to say something or get more aggressive. And now I just don't because my rational thoughts are a little bit more clear than that anger feeling, which is a lot of the testosterone there. So I'm just glad that's gone. Also, while like I will say there are no physical changes that you will really notice obviously when you're going only been on it for a week. Actually, most of them come about 6 months to a year into it. I've already noticed physical changes. Like, first of all, I don't know if you noticed in my videos, my skin is like a little bit lighter. That's something I noticed. My skin is softer, but not like in a way where if you don't live in my skin like I do, you would notice. But my skin is less oily. And that has actually really helped me to shave. First of all, I shave like three times a day. And now I don't have to shave as much. I don't have to shave as much because it comes off easier now. I'm not spending hours in the mirror just ripping that, trying to get it off, and it's all crusty and it won't come off. No, it's all coming off nice and easy, and I'm loving it. It is so wonderful to be like that now. Not have to spend hours in the mirror trying to rip facial hair that's not coming off, and now it's coming off. And so, like, and I also noticed that I think my facial hair is growing slower, which they usually say happens later. But I think in my case, it did start happening a little bit earlier. Maybe it's just because I'm not seeing like the facial hair and the beard hairs growing as back hardcore next day. And so I am really happy with all the results. I will say, I know a lot of people feel more sensitive to cry. I've not watched as many sad movies lately, just because, like, there's movies that I've, like, been in the mood to watch, but I'm like, that movie's a sad movie, I'm not doing it right now, because I'm going through these meds, and I feel like that's been the right call, but I'm also curious when I end up in a theater, and I end up watching a sad movie, just because. The other thing I will say I feel a lot is normal, which is that your mood is shifting and your body's shifting, that so your body's sleeping a lot more. So like I go to late night movies, I've had to like get out of the theater a little bit for a couple minutes, move around, just because I'm trying to keep myself awake because my body's feeling fatigued and just trying to go to sleep. And then also like days where I've been at home, I've just been power napping. Like I'll be out for at least a couple hours. So those are things I've noticed. Not negative things, but just things I've noticed, right? And then also just the, like, the napping, but the appetite growing is a big one. I'm a person, like, I eat breakfast, I eat dinner, and I usually don't eat lunch. But now it feels like I need to eat lunch every day. I need a snack multiple times a day. When I eat dinner, like I would eat small doses. Now I'm eating larger doses. So I'm just hungry. Now that's part of hormones. It's naturally going to happen. But it's actually a good thing because now I'm eating foods that I wasn't eating before, being like, I kind of like this now. And so it's one of those weird things. Like the meds are actually making me want food when usually I was like, I'm not that hungry of a person. So it is a weird juxtaposition for my body. Everything's changing, but for the better. I'm happy with it. Maybe you will be too. So let me know your experiences. If anyone else is in the comments had their experiences, let me know if this video was helpful. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I kind of said it in a snarky way last video, I guess, about questions. I mean, I don't want you to just ask every question, in the sense that I'm not the gospel on the subject. I don't know everything about it. Yeah. So let me know your thoughts.